Alright, time to go through a basic refrigeration circuit. Now this would be most likely just for a cool room, basic cool room, display, fridge, anything with a solenoid valve in it. So yeah, and if a refrigeration unit has a solenoid valve, it must have a receiver as well. So that's how you know. Okay, so let's start with the compressor. So in the compressor, like the arrows, comes in, sucking gas comes in, compresses, little compressor, little piston, goes up and down, and then compresses the suction refrigerant, superheats it, pushes it through the discharge line, small, through the discharge line, goes through, gets to the condenser. So the condenser condenses the superheated vapor into a liquid. So halfway through starts boiling, starts condensing, indensing into a liquid, and gets to the receiver. So then this liquid collects in the receiver, and then gets picked up by the liquid line. Liquid line here comes up, gets to the filter dryer. So the refrigerant has to pass through a filter dryer to pick up any contaminants or debris or anything like that. That's the filter bit. And then the dryer B. If there's any moisture from the system being opened, whatnot, any other reason, the dryer will dry the refrigerant and hopefully pick up that moisture. Then we get to the sight glass. Sight glass is used to kind of give us an indication of how much the liquid is being passed through the liquid line. So if it's kind of flashy passing through the liquid line, then it could indicate short of gas, things like that. But if you got a full head of liquid, so it almost looks like it's empty. It's that clear that that's pretty much empty. It looks empty, but it's not, it's full of liquid. And that's a good indication that you got a full charge. Or you got a full head of liquid going up the line to the TX valve. That's a TX valve. The X valves. There is usually a solenoid valve here as well, but we'll go through that pump down cycle in another video. So this is just a basic, just to get the principles going. So then after the TX valves, so-called liquid comes to the start of that TX valves and then creates a pressure drop. I'll go through the TX valve also in another video, and then we'll go through all the pressures involved in the valve to get that dropping pressure to come out the other fluid, which will then kind of create that cooling effect. Comes out of TX valve, pressure has dropped significantly, passed through an orifice to do that, comes to the evaporator, and then this evaporates the liquid into a vapor, hopefully by the end of it. So as it goes through the evaporator, the fan blows, the fan blowing through picks up the hot air, gets transferred to the coldest part, and then that's how you remove the heat from the room. Following along, we go down the suction line. Now it's the suction line, and the suction vapor gets put back into the compressor, which also does provide some cooling to the compressor. And then it just repeats the cycle. So yeah, I hope that explained the basic refrigeration circuit. So yeah, in other videos we'll go through the TX valve and what it does, how it acts, and how it can affect how the system operates by feeding this evaporator coil. We'll go through a more in-depth system with Solon valves, which indirectly pumps down the compressor if it's far away, and which we will go through a freezer system, there will be other components involved. Suction accumulator, oil separator over here, and depending if you use a MRP valves or not, you might need to put a EPR valve or a CPR valve, pressure regulator valve. Yeah. Then as we move along, we'll add more systems and more componentry, EPR, etc. So yeah, we'll add on from this base moving forward.